So welcome dear students, welcome to a new session, and this session is exclusively to understand more about how to draw a block and tackle pulley system. You know that this block and tackle pulley system in this chapter machines, there are so many other drawings like say single fixed pulley, single movable, and all those things are there, but even then this block and tackle pulley is a bit complicated, so you have to put more effort and more time for this experience and just practice this thing many more times so that you can do it easily. And also you have to do this thing with a very limited time for your exam, so you need to practice well for this. So now let's see what are the importance of this block and tackle pulley system. In many schools, and different teachers are teaching in different ways, and in many schools I think there is no any specific way given for the students to draw this, and people usually draw this in their own way, but usually for my students I suggest them to do this drawing just having some measurements, so that the pulley system will look nice and neat, and so that when someone evaluate your paper you won't miss any mark. And there is a great chance for missing marks in this block and tackle pulley system, even by missing a single arrow mark or something like that. So you must be more serious about this drawing, be very much careful on doing this. Okay, so let's start how to draw this block and tackle pulley system. Before drawing the picture, you need to understand this block and tackle pulley system is basically a force multiplier. Usually a single fixed pulley, you know that single fixed pulley is not a force multiplier. It is used for simply to change the direction of effort applied. But when we use this block and tackle pulley system, there will be so many number of pulleys in different blocks. Okay, and you know that there will be two blocks actually, one in the upper block and the another one in the lower block. So when you draw this block and tackle pulley system, each and everything must be very much clear. Okay, so usually when these papers are being evaluated for your board exams, they are giving more seriousness about, they will evaluate in such a way that they will try to miss your marks, cross out your marks even by missing a simple arrow mark or not marking the tension, and so many things are there. So let's check out what are the things you need to care about on drawing a block and tackle pulley system. First of all, let me give you an introduction. Like in this block and tackle pulley system, there is an upper block and another one lower block. Okay, I will draw one rough one just to understand some basics about this block and tackle pulley system. This is a rough one. Okay, so it's a rigid support, and to this rigid support we will connect different pulleys one after another in a frame. So it will look like something like, if it is of 5 pulley systems, we can draw it like there will be 3 pulleys on the upper block and its size will be gradually decreasing like this. Only then we can connect this string properly in it. Okay, otherwise it will touch each other. So we will do it like this. The first one will be a bigger one and gradually its size will decrease. Okay, so 3 pulleys in the upper block. Okay, so you know that there will be a frame in it. Okay, to this frame we can connect all these pulleys, right? Something like this. I hope it is visible for you. Anyway, it's a rough one. When we draw the neat one, and then I will make it better. Okay, so this one will be the upper, and there will be a hook connected to this, and there will be another block that we will connect to this one using a rope. Okay, that rope we will draw later. Then you need to understand one basic thing is that usually in the lower block the number of pulleys will be two conditions, like it can be same as the number of pulleys in the upper block, otherwise less than the number of pulleys. It will never be greater than or more than the number of pulleys in the upper block. Remember that. Okay, so when you get any condition, you need to remember the number of lower block pulleys can be one thing, it can be same as the number of upper block, otherwise it will be less than, usually one less than the upper block. Okay, so if you are asked to draw a pulley system having 5 pulleys, then you can draw 3 pulleys in the upper block then obviously you can understand the number of lower block pulleys will be 2. Then the total number of pulleys will be 5. Fine. So I think you can understand that you need to remember, because usually this kind of questions will always they ask in an indirect way. So you remember the number of pulleys in the upper block. What is the, you just, if you have three pulleys in the upper block, then the number of pulleys in the lower block can be of 3 or 2. Okay, like that. You can never use a number of 4 block pulleys in the lower block. That's it. If it in this case, okay. Okay, so I hope you can understand what I am saying. Then I think it is visible for you. Okay, so if you start drawing the lower block, then you can reverse the pulleys. Like firstly you need to draw the second one, this one. Okay, so like a size of this pulley, and the last one must be the first one on the upper block, like the first one. Okay, or the size of the first one. Then you can again draw a frame over here and a hook over again here, and you can connect the load over here like this. Okay, then the problem is that if you, and you know that you can connect the string in it, like it will be something like this. It will come here and again lower block and like this, and again here and again, and it will, yeah. Okay, so if you draw something like this for the board exam, okay, there will be so many mistakes in it. Okay, first of all, these pulleys that we use are of size, it must be clear, and in this picture we can understand that is not that clear, and it must be so much neat and clear. Okay, then the main mistake in this picture is that we should not draw a block and tackle pulley system like this. That is it. Okay, you should not draw, especially the strings that you have drawn, that I just drawn over here, is, you can see it doesn't have proper tension. If you draw it with the free hand like this, it will be completely wrong. So the thing is that we should not draw a block and tackle pulley system like this. Okay, then I will show you how to draw a block and tackle pulley system with much more neatness. Whenever you are drawing a block and tackle pulley system, remember that usually if it is of 5 pulley systems or 6 pulleys, then obviously it will be it needs more space. Okay, so always start doing it from the top end. Start from the top end of your paper. Okay, so this is the rigid support on which we are going to connect all the pulley systems. Okay, if possible, just write it as the rigid support. You can do that. It is the rigid support. Understand each and every step in it. How can we draw it this? You need to remember all the steps in it. Okay, then the next step is that from the middle of this rigid support, you need to draw a long line, a narrow line up to the bottom. Okay, a narrow line like this. It must be a straight line and it must be narrow, just because of the reason that we need to erase it later. Okay, I'm drawing is just to keep this pulley system straight and neat. Okay, then this is the line on which we are going to draw all the pulleys one after another. Then the first measurement, if the question is to 5 a block and tackle pulley system of velocity ratio 5, then we know that in the upper block you need to have a rough one. You can draw a rough one, like in the upper block there will be 3, then possibly in the lower block there will be 2, then the total number of pulleys will be 5. Okay, you need to have some guesswork like that. Only after you need to draw. Okay, so if it is 5, you can draw it like this: 3 in the upper block and 2 in the lower block. Okay, then we are going to draw it like, first of all, you need to take a measurement that is 4 centimeters. Okay, take it 4 centimeters. Okay, 4 centimeter, and mark this 4 centimeter on this line itself. Okay, you can take 4 or 3 conveniently. Okay, it's 4, it's 5, take 4 centimeter. Okay, then we have marked a 4 centimeter over here. Then what you need to do is that we are going to draw a first pulley as this point as the axis. Okay, and this first pulley must be of radius 2 centimeter. Remember, when we draw 3 pulleys in the first block, the first pulley system pulley must be of 2 centimeter. Okay, this is the maximum kind of pulley that can be asked. Okay, more than 3 won't be there in any kind of pulley system. Okay, they can ask a pulley maximum of velocity ratio 6. Okay, so you can assume it like this, like the first pulley is going to be of radius 2 centimeter. Okay, so you need to take 2 centimeter measurement, like in the scale itself you can take 2 centimeter. Okay, now it is of 2 centimeters. Then you need to draw this 2 centimeter radius pulley by taking this mark as the axle. Okay, now we can draw. Okay, we can draw the first pulley like this. I think it is clear for you. And make the surface bit more darker. Okay, make it bit more darker. Okay, it is fine. So this is the first pulley, and remember, just make this axis bit more darker. Fine. So this is the first pulley. So let's just see how neat this is, just comparing with the previous one I had drawn. Okay, so the evaluator will get impressed. Isn't it good? Then the next step is that, just understand what we did. We have taken 4 centimeter distance from the rigid support and just make it as the axis. And making it as the axis, we will take 2 centimeter radius and just draw a circle that indicates the first pulley. Then the next step is that before drawing the next pulley, you need to leave a space of half centimeter over there. Half centimeter. You can see half centimeter. Okay, just mark this half centimeter there. Then again, now we are going to draw the second pulley by taking 1.5 centimeter. Okay, this will be of 2 centimeter and the next one is going to be of 1.5. So you just take a measurement that is 1.5. Okay, you can take a measurement as 1.5. Then from this half centimeter point, you can mark the center like this, 2 centimeter. Okay, so this point will be the axis, and from this point you can draw the second pulley like this. It will be the second pulley. This one will be the second one. Okay, always make the surface bit more darker, and again you just mark this axle bit more darker. Okay, then it is the second one. Then you can assume again I am going to do the same. Again I am going to keep a half centimeter distance, and then you can assume if it is 2 centimeter, this is of 1.5 and the next one will be of, obviously it will be of 1 centimeter. So the third one in the upper block will be of 1 centimeter. It's fine. So you can again take a radius of 1 centimeter and you can start drawing 1 centimeter. Okay, so you can mark the axis from this point like this. This one will be the axis. Just darken the point, and from that axis you can draw the third pulley in the upper block. Okay, third pulley in the upper block like this. Okay, again just darken the surface. You can see in this scale itself, you can see the millimeters marked over here. See the millimeters, all the millimeters are marked over. Just take that with us, the measurement. So you can keep that millimeters point like this on the center point. Okay, and on both sides of that center point, starting just above from the first to the last one. Okay, it need to extend like this. So just mark the points like this, and you need to draw like this by taking this measurement as the. Okay, so you can draw it on both sides of this center line. Okay, now we can have the frame like this. Just finish the two ends like this. Okay, now this is the frame. Okay, now at the top end you can draw a hook like this that will connect this frame to the rigid support, and in the lower portion also you can draw a hook like this. Okay, and inside the frame there will be if there is something like the center line and the portion of the pulleys that you can just rub out like this. You can just rub all these things, but the axis must be there. Okay, so you can have a neat upper block like this. Okay, you get it? Okay, so just recollect, understand whatever we did in this. Again, first of all, we just drawn the rigid support at the top end like this. This is the rigid support. Then do you remember what is the second step? You need to do it exactly like this, otherwise it won't be neat like this. Okay, from the center of the rigid support you can have a long line to the bottom, a narrow line, okay, like that, a narrow line. Then from the narrow line, from the center of the rigid support, you can take a measurement that is 4 centimeter and just mark that point on the center line, and you can just reduce this measurement as 3 if you want, so that we can reduce this distance. Okay. Then from that point you can draw the first pulley system by taking a measurement of 2 centimeter radius. So you will get a pulley like this. Then from the surface of the pulley you need to mark a half centimeter distance. From that distance we can take a radius of measurement 1.5 centimeter, and you can mark the center point, and from that center you can draw the second one that is of 1.5 centimeter radius. Again the same way you can again mark a half centimeter distance, and you can draw the last pulley which is of 1 centimeter. After drawing these 3 pulleys you can draw the frame. Okay, so you just had seen how can we draw the frame, and then after that don't forget to give this hooks like this, okay, in the top end and in this lower end. Now the next step is, again you understand, now we are again going to take a measurement that is of 4 centimeter. Okay, a measurement that is of 4 centimeter. Okay, and now we are going to mark this 4 centimeter. This 4 centimeter, it must be 4. Okay, don't reduce this measurement, it must be 4. Okay, and remember we are going to take this measurement from the lower surface of this pulley. Remember, don't take this measurement from anywhere else, from the lower surface of this last pulley. You need to mark a point like this on this line itself. Actually this line is there, okay, in that line itself. Okay, now what we are going to do is that now we are going to draw the lower block. Okay, and in the lower block you always remember, as it is of only 2 pulleys in the lower block, we need to just reverse the pulleys which are the first and second in the lower block. Like the first pulley in the lower block will be of 1.5 centimeter and the last pulley in the lower block will be of 2 centimeter. We won't take this 1 centimeter radius of pulley in the lower block because there is only 2 pulleys. Then you can remember, if it is of 3 pulleys in the lower block, like if the velocity ratio is 6, we need to have 3 pulleys in the lower block. Then we need to just reverse all the pulleys in the upper block. Okay, like start from the 1, then 1.5 and 2 in the lower block. Okay, now as it is of only 2 pulleys in the lower block, okay, we can take only these 2 pulleys, just reverse it. So just we are going to draw first pulley with a radius of, what will be that? Yeah, this one, 1.5. Okay, you can take the measurement from this point itself. Okay, it will be of 1.5. Then you can draw that pulley at that mark itself like this. You can draw the pulley like this. Okay, just darken the surface. Okay, so you can understand this pulley is of measurement the second one. Okay, now the same thing that we had done in the previous upper block, like we are going to leave a half centimeter over here. Okay, a half centimeter over here. Then next thing you can understand, we are going to draw the last pulley that is of measurement the first one. Okay, I hope you can understand, you get it right. Okay, so this measurement is 2 centimeter, right? So you can take the measurement from this pulley itself, it is of 2 centimeter. Okay, then mark that measurement from this distance, 2 centimeter. Okay, now we can have this as the axis. Okay, now you just draw the last pulley which is of radius 2 centimeter. Okay, just again darken the surface like this, darken. Okay, now all the pulleys are there, 3 pulleys in the upper, 2 in the lower. So the velocity ratio of this pulley system will be 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Okay, then all the pulleys are there. Now again in the same way we need to draw the frame. Okay, for that again we can take the width of this millimeters over here, and it also, like what we did in the previous case of the upper block, on both sides of this narrow line you can draw the frame like this. Okay, it must be bit extended like this. Okay, remember each and everything I am doing in it, don't forget any of this, and you just darken this axis. Then again you need to draw 2 hooks like this. Here we need to have another hook. Just keep the open place of this opening of this hook in the other direction like this. That will be fine. If it is open to this direction, for the lower block it must be in the opposite direction. Okay, that is the way in which you should draw it for being this picture more neat. Okay, then again in the last block, the last portion, you need to draw again the hook, and this purpose of this hook is to hang the load over here, right? Okay, so remember in a block and tackle pulley we will usually hang the load in the lower block. Remember, not in the lower block, in the frame of the lower block. Okay, usually children will do one mistake, is that they will hang the pulley in the chain itself, in the pulley itself. Then you just think if we hang this hook in the pulley, it won't be able to rotate, right? So it's a common sense. You need to hang this hook only on the frame. If you draw this hook on this pulley, then again they will simply cross it out. Remember. Okay, then again like we did, you need to just rub out the things inside the frame, that narrow line and the portions of the pulley, that you can simply just rub out. Okay, and again you can just make the surface of this frames bit more darker. Okay, and even if you just you don't rub these places inside the frame, it's fine, it doesn't matter at all. Then again in the last hook you need to draw the load. Okay, you can simply draw some block or something like this. Okay, the size of the block is not that matter, you can just draw a kind of block or something like this, just shade it. Okay, so this is going to be the load over here, and this hook must be connected to this load. Okay, this connection must be there. And after doing all these, remember you need to mark this arrow mark that indicates the gravitational pull, the weight of this load. Without this arrow mark, if you draw this diagram without this arrow mark, you will definitely miss some mark. And one more is very important, when you are drawing this load, you need to mark this arrow mark and just mark it as load. Okay, then it is fine. Now we know that we need to connect a string, a rope or something in it. Okay, so I think all these things that we have done over here are pretty fine. You could understand all these things, I hope so. Okay, so the measurements, I can just simply mark the measurements. When you are doing it in your notebook, don't have these measurements written over there. Okay, so this distance you can keep 3 centimeter will be fine. In it I had drawn with 4, 3 centimeter will be fine. Okay, now the radius of this pulley, we will take it as 2 centimeter, and this distance, that it will be half centimeter. Okay, then the radius of this pulley will be, what is it? Yeah, the radius will be 1.5 centimeter of this pulley. For the last one it will be 1 centimeter. Okay, now we will take the measurement again from this point, the surface of this pulley up to this point, the center point, it will be 4 centimeter. Remember, that is one of the very important measurement that you will usually forget. From this surface up to this point, it must be 4 centimeter. Okay, then again we are drawing this first pulley that is of measurement, the second one, it will be again 1.5. okay, this distance it will be again half centimeter. So last one will be of 2 centimeter. Okay, and measurement for this load and things like that are not necessary. You can draw with any measurement this load. Okay, and don't forget this arrow mark and the load marked over here. Okay, so kindly don't mark any of this measurement over here. I just marked it just for your information. Okay, so this distance from this rigid support up to the first point, it will be 3 will be fine. 2 centimeter radius, half centimeter distance, 1.51. Again, this is important, don't reduce this measurement from the surface, lower surface of this last pulley up to the next point, it will be 4 centimeter. Then 1.52. okay, so do it only like this. Okay, let me just rub it out, all these things. Okay, let's move on. Now dear students, we need to connect these blocks with a string or a rope. Okay, for that first of all you need to understand, you need to have some guesswork over here, like you need to understand when we connect this string to this block, actually there are so many hooks connected provided over here. Okay, but whenever there is the number of pulleys in the lower block is less than that of in the upper block, remember the number of pulleys in the lower block is less than that of in the upper block, then you need to start connecting the string or the rope only from the lower block. You simply just imagine like this lower block, as it is of less number of pulleys, it need more support. Simply think like that. We are doing just because to make it effective or convenient. Okay, when we connect all these strings. Once again listen. When the number of pulleys in the lower block is less than that of the upper block, okay, then start connecting the string only from the lower block. And again you can understand, if the number of pulleys in the upper and lower are same, then you can connect it from the upper block. You get it? Okay, if it is like here it is only 2 in the lower block, we need to start it from the lower block only. Okay, so you need to connect a string or a rope somewhere here in the lower block. Now what I am going to tell you is bit complicated, so you need to be more attentive. Okay, so just have a guesswork, how can we connect it? And all these pulleys are having grooved room in it, so that we can insert this ropes properly in it. So the thing will be like this. I will show you a rough one, like we will connect the pulley, this rope in this hook. Okay, then we can insert that rope into the first pulley, then we can wind it like this over here through this grooved rim, so it will reach somewhere here the rope. So we can again connect that rope into this pulley. Okay, so again wind it like this. Now we won't be able to connect it again into it, it's already the rope is there. So just connect this rope into the second pulley. Just wind it. I can understand you are getting confused. okay, I will make it clear for you. Now you can understand, now the rope is somewhere here. Okay, and these two pulleys are already connected to the rope, connected with rope. So the only possible way is that we can connect the rope into the last pulley like this. Connect it from here up to this last one. Again wind it, so the rope will reach somewhere here. Now we can understand, rope is already in these 3 pulleys. The only available pulley is in the upper block, first one. So you need to connect the pulley, the rope from this lower end pulley up to the first one. So you need to connect it like this, from this to this first one. Then you can wind it like this. Okay, so you will push the effort, you will give the effort only at this end. Okay, so if we try giving the effort at this end, we can easily just lift this load very easily. So I could understand you were so confused about how connecting all these ropes in it. Okay, so leave it all. So when we are doing it in a proper way, I will tell you how to do it, then you will feel it more easy. Okay, so first thing you need to remember is that when the number of pulleys in the lower block is 2 or less than that of in the upper block, then start connecting from the lower. Okay, so what you need to do, you just start connecting that rope. Then the one more thing is that whenever you are drawing the rope or the string, you should draw it only with scale. There is much more importance in it. Okay, I will tell you why it is so. Okay, so don't just draw it freehand. You need to draw it using a scale, and that rope must connect in such a way that usually as it is grooved, it will touch somewhere here. Okay, in this bulged end. Okay, don't connect it to any other places, so to this end only. Okay, so you will draw it like this. As it is simply touching this, okay, you can draw the first rope like this. Isn't it neat enough? Okay, yeah. Now you can understand this rope is actually inserted into the groove, and that portion may not be visible for us, so no need of drawing again that portion. You get it? You need to imagine like this rope is inserted through this grooved rim, so you can understand we need to again start drawing only from here, the visible portion only. You get it? Yeah, hope. Okay, I hope you can understand. So again you can understand how it will be visible. Yeah, it will again start from here, and we need to connect it from here up to this pulley. Okay, and up to this bulged end. Okay, as we are connecting it, then it will be visible up to here. Okay, so you need to start it from here and just connect it into the surface as if it is simply touching the pulley like this. Do you see how it is drawn? Okay, so it is fine. Again, this portion that we are going to insert through this pulley, so it will reach somewhere here. Now it will be visible for us, right? Yeah, from that portion it will reach to where we need to connect. Yeah, up to here. Okay, so up to here means it will be visible from here. Okay, this surface. So from this surface up to this. Okay, so you can neatly draw it again like this, like this. See how neat these lines are. Okay, and it will be wrong if you draw it from here and up to somewhere here or like that. Okay, it must touch gently like this up to the surface. Again, you can imagine this rope is inserted through this grooved rim. Again, it will reach somewhere here. Okay, now we need to connect it this from this surface up to where you can understand. Yeah, it will reach from here up to the last pulley. Okay, and make it sure that it is not touching the previous upper one. Okay, must be drawn like this, upper block up to this lower one. Okay, again you can understand this rope will get inserted through this pulley, and now it will be visible from here. Okay, and we know that rope is already connected to all these pulleys. Now the possible way is that we can connect this rope up to this upper block, and again up to here, this bulge surface. Okay, so use a longer scale or other ways, make sure that it is going to touch the upper surface. Okay, like this, and let it touch the upper block gently like this. Okay, now it is again going to be inserted through this pulley, and from this surface we can understand this pulley is going to be like this string, and you can mark somewhere here an arrow mark, and you need to mark it as E. What does it mean? Yeah, that means we are going to put an effort over here. Okay, so in order to lift the load. Is it okay? Yeah, so you need to practice with it. Okay, if you have any doubts about how I have drawn all these strings in it, just replay that portion in this video so that you can understand it. Okay, then I hope you could understand all these things. Then dear students, now we are going to move on to the most important things in it, like this. When we have connected all these pulleys with this string, then you can understand this only this strand supporting. Then dear students, you can understand how we have connected all these things. Then you are familiar with the word strand, right? Strand and string are not the same. How many strings are there in this pulley? There is only one string. Okay, the same rope or string is connected in all these ropes, just winding it in such a way through this grooved rims. But let me ask you, how many strands are there? Strand. Yeah, the segment of the string that is connecting something is called as the strand over here. So this portion, this portion of the string is called as one strand. Then this portion is the second one, third, fourth, fifth and sixth. So you need to understand there is around 6 strands over here. Then let me again ask you, how many strands are actually supporting this load over here? And it is pretty much visible that this strand, this portion of the string is actually not going to support the load. It is not connected to any other pulley, right? So this portion of the string or this strand is not supporting this load. But at the same time, just check out all the other strands. Instead of this string, this strand, all the other strands are supporting the load. Okay, you can understand. Then let me ask you, how many strands are supporting the load over here? Yeah, you know that this strand is not supporting, but all the other strands are supporting. So you need to count it like this. Yeah, how will you count it? 1, 2, and this small portion, this one also need to be counted. So you can count it like this: 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Again, you get it? Yeah, we won't count this strand with it. Okay, so how will it be counted? So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So number of strands supporting the load will be again the same number, 5. So do you get any relation between the number of strands and the velocity ratio over here? Yeah, these are the same numbers, right? Yeah, that's it. The number of strands supporting the load and the velocity ratio will be same. In the usual cases. There are some exceptional cases that we can discuss later. In usual way of questions, always the number of strands supporting the load, only these strands are supporting. So there will be around 5 strands supporting this load. It will be 5 and the velocity ratio will 5, and also one more, the number of pulleys are also 5. Do you get the relation? Yeah, these values, all these values are same. Okay, the velocity ratio of this pulley system is 5. Okay, the number of pulleys is also 5 and the number of strands is also 5. Okay, then you know that whenever something is hanged in a string or rope or something, then a kind of contact force will exert over there. Do you remember what it is? You had learned it in 9th standard. It is called as the tension force. Do you remember? Yeah, and we discussed about that tension in the previous kind of single movable pulley and all those things, right? Then the thing is that you need to mark this tension in each and every strands over here. That is one of the very important thing you need to remember while drawing this block and tackle pulley system. You get it? That means it must be there for each and every strand, and one more, the tension force that will get exerted in each and every strand will be same. In all these strands, the tension force that will get exerted will be same. So you can simply mark it as, it will be there in this strand, you just mark it as T. Here it will be T, T, and for the small one also you need to mark it as T, T and T. So do you understand what I did? I just marked tension in all the strands. So if you have a question like this to draw block and tackle pulley, especially in board exams, they will surely check whether you have marked this tension in each and every strand. And if you forget that, surely you will mismark. You get it? Yeah, okay. And you can just check it out again. Don't ever write it as T1, T2, T3 and T4. That simply means the tension is different in different strands. It is not like that. The tension that get exerted in each and every strand will be the same. So you need to mark it as only T in each and every strand. Then like in the previous cases, you can have the relation between effort and T. E will be equal to T. You can simply write it like this. E is equal to T. Okay, then again you can simply write what is the value of L here. L is equal to, how can we write? yeah, these strands are supporting the load. How many strands are there? 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So L will be is equal to 5T. Is it okay? L will be is equal to 5T. Then what will be the mechanical advantage of this block and pulley system? Is equal to L by E is equal to 5T divided by T. You will get 5. Then we are getting another value again as 5. That is the mechanical advantage of this pulley system is 5. You can understand how efficient force multiplier will be this block and tackle pulley system as it is having an MA of 5. Okay, if it is the value is greater than 1, it will be a force multiplier, and we have got 5 as MA, then definitely it will be a more efficient force multiplier. We can easily lift this load by applying a lesser amount of effort. Do you get it? Okay, fine. So before finishing this session, we need to understand what are the ways in which we may miss marks for this block and tackle pulley system if you are writing the board exams. Okay, so you will get a cross mark in this question for the previous things, for the following things. Okay, remember, first of all, if you forget to draw this rigid support, remember, first point to miss your marks. Okay, you will get a cross mark for missing this rigid support. Usually students will do like that. Okay, second thing, to forget this hook. If you forget this hook, that doesn't make any sense. Okay, it need to have a connection in between. If you forget this hook, then there will be a problem with the number of pulleys. If it is of 5 pulleys, is 5 velocity ratio 5, the number of pulleys in the upper block must be 3 and in the lower block it must be 2. They will check it. Okay, so the third point in which you may miss mark is the number of pulleys. Okay, you need to make it very much clear. You need to understand how the number of pulleys must be there in each and every block. Okay, then the thing is, next thing is that fourth point in which you may miss your mark is that the way in which the strings are connected. Okay, it must be drawn only using the scale. Okay, freehand, you don't just draw these strands using a freehand, and the connection method must be like this. Like I said, if the number of pulleys in the lower block is less than that of the upper block, it must start connecting from the lower. Okay, and the number of pulleys in each block, both the blocks are same, then you can start it from the upper. Okay, and we will discuss such kind of a question in another classroom. Okay, and that is the way in which you also miss mark. If you start connecting this rope in a wrong way, you will definitely miss mark. Okay, connection of strands of string. Okay, and the fifth point in which you may miss mark is that, yeah, if you forget to have this arrow marks over here and here, the effort and the load. Okay, so if you forget this arrow marks, obviously you will again miss marks. Okay, then again if you forget to mark this load and effort and all these things, then dear students, why I just simply explain the ways in which you miss the marks is that the funny evaluation method of ICSE. Okay, the thing is that if I am going to evaluate this paper, this answer script, you just check out how I am going to evaluate. Okay, then you will understand how it is funny. Okay, I will firstly evaluate the number of pulleys in it. If this question is of 3 marks, you just how I am going to evaluate it. Okay, the first question, firstly I will check the number of pulleys. If it is okay, I will give 1 tick mark. Okay, then I need to check the connection methods. Okay, the strings are properly connected, I will give the second mark. Okay, and again if there is any question for having anything like load and things are connected, then again I will give the third tick mark. Okay, now you have the 3 marks, total marks for this. Then again understand the funny thing in it. Okay, that you definitely you need to understand the evaluation method. Now we are asked to check these points, like whether there is any mistake. Okay, now let's see the funny part. Now if I am checking this rigid support, if it is not there, I will have to just cross the first mark. that I had already given. Isn't it funny? Then again, if I am on checking if this arrow marks of tension is not there, if you are not properly marked this arrow marks, then I will have to again just make it cross mark. Okay, and finally, if on checking this arrow mark for load is not there, and then I will again have to just cross out the last mark again. Do you understand what I am saying? So the thing is that the final thing is that even if you have drawn all these things very neatly and you just forgot to show this rigid support, these arrow marks and even this arrow mark, simply by ignoring or missing few arrow marks, you are not going to get any mark for this question, even if you have drawn all the things in it. It is very serious. This is the way in which you are usually losing marks in physics. Each and every arrow mark and everything is that important. Okay, so kindly don't forget all these arrow marks that shows this tension, rigid support, effort, load, and especially this arrow mark for load. Okay, so I hope, my dear students, you just understand what I said. So be very serious on studying all these things and keep practicing with this diagram so that you can do all these things within a very short time. Time is very important. You will get around 4 to 5 minutes or 4 minutes to draw all these things. So you should practice so that you can just do it within a very limited time. Okay, so just practice with it. I hope all of you can draw it in you can draw it in an effective way. So in the next class I will show you how can we draw in different other kind of pulley systems if you get any other question. Okay, so I hope you will practice. Study well, dear students. Have a good day for you. Thank you.